The word katana in Japanese means a weapon that was wielded by the ancient warriors. In the Japanese tradition, the person who wielded the katana demanded the respect and the appreciation that the katana followed. So, in the early 80s, when Suzuki was developing an all-new naked tourer to take on the Italians, it decided to give its naked tourer the name Katana to take on its competition. But in 2006, Suzuki discontinued the Katana, and now, fast forward to the modern era, Suzuki has revived the Katana name to silently attack the competition, more importantly the Italian competition. Let us have a look at the all-new 2022 Suzuki Katana. The designers at Suzuki, while designing the Katana, must have really focused on the form over function phrase, since the Katana certainly looks distinctive compared to its rivals. While most common folks might find the design of the Katana a little too overwhelming, it really does look like the designers went crazy with the Katana. The front fairing houses a vertically stacked LED headlights that has a unique rectangular shape. The sharp bodywork of the Katana allows the cooling air to directly flow into the high-capacity curved radiator. Talking about the design of the rear of the Katana, that is my favorite element, since I really love the sinister looking taillights that the Katana has. Moving along, you would also notice that this is the first time Suzuki has used such a design for the rear number plate. I must also appreciate the fact that the bronze wheels certainly look the part to make it look like a nice classic retro motorcycle. Now, talking about the overall ergonomics of the Katana, it is a very interesting motorcycle because I for one don't really find myself comfortable in most naked sport tourers, but this I am really comfortable. Even though I'm 6 feet tall and yes, I have a girth, I'm able to sit myself pretty comfortably. The foot pegs are in a nice position. I'm able to keep my foot flat when I need to, and the handlebar is not too upright or not too low, making me sit really comfortably. The only downside that I found was that my hands tend to take a lot of pressure as I'm riding along. Maybe that's something for me and you might not experience. It is powered by a 999cc detuned GXXR motor that produces around 150 bhp and 106 Nm of torque. Nonetheless, let me talk about the cornering capabilities of the Katana because it is a corner carver. It has fantastic suspension at the front and the rear. More importantly, it has a really good braking system and a really good tire as well, which does allow it to corner really well. Speaking of the brakes, what you have at the front is a 4-piston Brembo dual disc brakes, and at the rear you have a Nissan single piston rear brake, which does do the job of braking really well, but the front is a whole lot better, that is for sure. Again, the one downside, there are actually two downsides that I found with the Katana. One is the fact that even though it is an oil-cooled liquid engine, it certainly does heat up in the city, and it does take a lot of time for it to cool down. It likes being out on the highways because that is where it doesn't heat up, but for a 999cc motor, it does heat up quite a lot. Yes, I agree that it does be able to dissipate its heats better, but it's not the best in the class. And second is the fact that the throttle is really twitchy, which does make it really difficult to handle in the city. Or even actually, you have to be really careful with the throttle because even the slightest flick of the throttle does really mean that you have to be focused on the road because it really goes. The advantage that you have of those things is that you have 5 riding modes. 3 riding modes and 5 traction modes in a sense. The 3 riding modes are like the regular riding modes, but the traction is you have 5 levels, with off being the best. But I am not a professional and I can't do that for sure. So I have kept it in 3, and at the monsoons it actually really makes the bike fun to ride without actually scaring you. I for one really like the Katana, but the logical side of me did not really like it because I really enjoy riding 1000cc motorcycles. I really do, and this is exactly what I look at because it is lightweight, extremely nimble, and more importantly a whole lot powerful. But the drawback that it has is the price tag it carries because it is very expensive. And when you look at the competition might be slightly underpowered, but it offers a whole lot more in terms of modern technology. This has its nice retro design. The tail light, the rear section looks extremely fantastic, and the overall motorcycle has a nice silhouette. But if you ask me, if I have to use my logical brain and spend the amount of money, I would most certainly go for something a whole lot different, because it will be a whole lot cheaper. But if you want to be unique, you want to stand out, and more importantly, you want to be a warrior, an ancient warrior actually, this is something that you should opt for. With that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to BBC Top Gear Magazine India. This is Yash Sunil signing out. Yeah.